Bukit Cina, the largest known Chinese cemetery outside of China. Bukit Cina was originally an undulating jungle of three mounds. These mounds were Bukit Tinggi, Bukit Kedong, and Bukit Tempurong. According to the local tradition, in the mid 15th century, Hang Lipo was sent to be married to the Sultan of Malacca, Sultan Mansur Shah, to seal relations between the two countries, China and Malaysia. The hill Bukit Cina, a gift from the Sultan to his wife, was established as their residence. The well of Perji Raja, which is next to the Posang Teng temple at the foot of the hill, was constructed by Hang Lipo's followers for her personal use but was also an important source of water for much of the town. It was also a prime target for opposition forces which either poisoned it or tried to hold it for their own use. It was reputed never to have dried up during droughts. Today, the well has acquired the reputation of a wishing well, and it is believed that anyone who throws a coin into the well will return to Malacca. Admiral Zheng He, Cheng Ho's seven wells lie in the foot of the Bukit Cina, beside the Posang Teng temple. These wells were dug by Admiral Zheng He's expedition force during their stopover in Malacca during the Ming Dynasty. Bukit Cina was chosen by Zheng He to be used as the base for his expeditionary force. Zheng He's visit is recorded in verified Chinese history as compared to the fabled lore of Perji Raja wells. Zheng He, acting under the orders of the Yongle Emperor, escorted Princess Hang Lipo to be wed to Sultan Mansur Shah in the 15th century. As a gift to Hang Lipo and the Chinese settlers in Bukit Cina, Zheng He dug seven wells which is originally known as the Perji Raja and mistakenly called Hang Lipo's well. Following Zheng He's arrival, the Sultan and Sultana of Malacca visited China with over 540 of their subjects, bearing ample tribute. Sultan Mansur Shah later dispatched Tun Perpeti Puti as his envoy to China, carrying a letter from the Sultan to the Ming Emperor. The letter requested the hand of an imperial daughter in marriage. Malay's Anno records in the year 1459, a princess named Hang Lipo or Hang Liu was sent from China to marry the Sultan. Upon marriage, the Sultan took possession of the hill and gave it to the princess as a gift upon arrival, and the area surrounding the hill became a residence for the princess and her Chinese entourage that consisted of 500 of her personal handmaidens. In 1685, Bukit Cina became a Chinese cemetery where Li Wei King, the then Capitan China of Malacca, bought the three hills from the Dutch and renamed them as San Pao Shan. He placed it under the trust of the Sheng Hung Ten Temple. Today, the hill is not only a cemetery flooded with more living than dead during the feast of Qing Ming, it is also used as a recreational ground where joggers have carved out a path between graves, and it is a great place to see the views of the city from its peak. Next to the Hanlipo well is the Malacca Warrior Monument, which was built to commemorate the Chinese victims of the Japanese occupation of Malacca during World War II. The monument was constructed in 1948 in the Federation of Malaya. In 1972, it also went major renovations. Bukit Cina appeared to be a very well-maintained area. We were very lucky to have witnessed locals who were trimming the grass as well as spraying pesticide to maintain the appearance of the cemetery. We also noticed that people had visited the graves during the Qing Ming celebration and made offerings in the form of traditional dishes, burnt joss sticks and joss paper, otherwise famously known as heaven money.
Oke, so question yang pertama, soalan pertama, abang buat apa kesini?
Kita buka lubang. Ada orang mati, ada orang mati, kadang kan dulu kan belum mati, belum mati, lepas itu dulu kan dia bikin kubur simpan, lepas itu sekarang kita buka. Nah,
So dalam tu tak ada orang lah.
Belum, belum ada orang. Tapi dia dah ke dalam dah ada lubang. Dah ada lubang. 2-3 hari baru datang tanam.
Oh, abang tahu sejarah tentang tempat ni?
Oh, sejarah tidak tahu.
Oh, tidak tahu.
Pasal saya kan orang Indon.
Oh, abang tinggal kat Melaka lah, lama sudah?
Ada dekat 10 tahunan.
Abang selalu datang sini lah, like bukan pasal kerja lah, kalau hari biasa saja.
Kadang hari-hari kami kerja, kita pasal apa? Bukan dekat Bukit Cina aja. Mana-mana kubu Cina, mana-mana kubu Cina kita kerja. Kadang-kadang kita bikin kubu, kadang-kadang kita bikin ini.
So cuma untuk kerja sajalah. Terima kasih.
Okey, sama.
Puteri apa? Haripo.
Namanya Haripo Putri Haripo.
Dan dalam ada sampul. Di sini untuk semayang di tempat lah. Cina-Cina datang, orang lancungnya, semua datangnya. Tengok kumur kat dalam semua dia ada tulisan. Kubur atas ada 10,000 lebih. Saya jangan tahu macam ni sikit-sikit aja.
Okay. To just know about Bukit Cina. With the group? Oh, first time here. Okay, so this is your first time. Do you know anything about the history of Bukit Cina? No. Oh, so you're learning today? Yes. Do you like it so far?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Where are you from?
From Sarawak.
From Sarawak.
Sarawak.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
How many times? Got many times now.
Oh, okay. As a tour guide, yes. Do you know the history, like majority of the history?
Yeah, I know.
All of it,
No all.
but most of it.
Yeah.
How did you come to know of Bukit Cina?
Some tourist guide tell me, or I read the book. Yeah.
And that's how.
Yeah.
How did you come to know about Bukit Cina?
Bukit Cina, here from Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I come here.
First time or?
First time.
During our visit to Bukit Cina, we were at first very overwhelmed by the amount of land we had to cover by the end of our trip. The entire Bukit Cina mountain was very large and required almost 3 hours of continuous walking to cover the entire graveyard. Although it was a tiring experience, we learned a lot about the several landmarks and tubes within the Bukit Cina. We were not very well prepared for the weather as we didn't bring any umbrella to give us shade, and most parts within Bukit Cina was bare and shadeless. The entire experience was fascinating to us as we walked through the mountain up and down, walking along the path in our map, searching for tombs. The pathway that was created within Bukit Cina was unclear, and it was difficult for us to locate several graves. This was a huge issue we faced. Next, looking at our interviewing experience, we were not able to find a lot of people who understood English, so it was hard for us to do so. However, luckily, we had an international student in our group who is from Brunei who understood Malay. This helped us communicate with some of the locals, although once again, communicating with the tourists was harder as they were mostly Chinese tourists who didn't understand English. Fortunately, we managed to get interviews of a few tourists and the experience was enlightening.